Hi students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mbide and in today's class we are going to look at punctuation, and specifically we are going to look at the hyphen and the apostrophe and have a look at a few ways in which they are used in sentences and what role they play in a sentence or in a word. Before we continue, it is important to define what punctuation marks are. Punctuation marks are symbols that are used to create and support meaning within a sentence. There are different examples of punctuation marks like full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, apostrophe, hyphen, and many others. So all these punctuation marks have different roles that they play and have different ways in which they are used within a sentence to create a certain meaning. For example, if you end a sentence with a question mark, it means that that is a question. If you end a sentence with an exclamation mark, it could show either anger or surprise. So all these different punctuation marks have different meanings. So for today, we are going to start with the apostrophe. So the apostrophe has several uses. The first one is that it is used to show possession in singular nouns and plural nouns. For example, Victor's seat is broken. The apostrophe is in the noun Victor, so it shows that this seat that is broken belongs to Victor. Wendy's book is torn. The apostrophe is in the name Wendy, which is a noun, and it shows that the book that is torn belongs to Wendy. And lastly, the country's budget has been approved. The apostrophe is in the noun countries. It shows that the budget that has been approved belongs to the country, and that is how the apostrophe is used in singular nouns. When you want to use the apostrophe in a plural noun to show possession, you put the apostrophe at the end of that noun. For example, the country's budgets have been approved. When you look at this sentence, you can see that the apostrophe is at the end of the word here being countries, because that is a plural noun. The teacher's pens are similar to the students. So this shows that you're talking about many teachers and many students, and you're saying that the pens that the teachers have are similar to the pens that the students have. So take note of that when you're showing possession in a singular noun. The apostrophe comes before the s, but when you're showing possession in plural nouns, the apostrophe comes at the end of the noun. We can also use an apostrophe with shortened words or shortened numbers to show that a letter or a number is missing, and it's not just one letter, it can be a few letters are missing or a few numbers are missing. For example, can't, C-A-N, and then the apostrophe T is the short for cannot. Wouldn't is the short form for would not. And the last one there, which is a number 14 with the apostrophe just before it, is the short for 2014. If you're writing a sentence that has multiple nouns and multiple possessions, you can use the apostrophe at the end of the second noun to show multiple possessions. For example, Njoroge and Mwaura's bag. So the nouns here are Njoroge and Mwaura. So when you put the apostrophe after Mwaura, it shows that this bag belongs to both Njoroge and Mwaura. Otis and Alo's shop. This statement shows that this shop belongs to both Otis and Alo. When you want to show possession in a compound noun, you put the apostrophe on the last word. Remember, we said that compound nouns are made up of more than one word. So if you say something like, my sister-in-law's book, you put the apostrophe at the last word. It shows possession. So this book belongs to my sister-in-law. Her mother-in-law's garden is beautiful. It tells us that the garden that's being talked about here belongs to her mother-in-law. And so those are the uses of the apostrophe. I hope you have understood. We are now going to look at the hyphen. The hyphen is a punctuation mark that is used to join two or more words to one. And it also has several functions, and we are going to look at all of them one by one. The first use of hyphens is that they are used to link words that form compound nouns. Remember, we have just said that compound nouns are made up of more than one word. So to link these words, you use a hyphen. For example, half term, dining hall, fountain, pen. So these are compound nouns, and we use the hyphen to link them. We can also use hyphens to separate identical consonants or vowels in a word. Sometimes you find that a word has identical consonants or identical vowels following each other. For example, preempt, coordinate, by elections. So when you look at these words, what you notice is the first two words have identical vowels following each other. So we use the hyphen to separate them. Another use of the hyphen is that it is used to separate the words of a compound number. For example, 22, 27, 28. We use the hyphen to separate these words. The last use of hyphens is a hyphen is used to punctuate ambiguous sentences in order to provide clarity. For example, the two sentences there. The suppliers have signed 8-month-long contracts. And the second sentence, the suppliers have signed 8-month-long contracts. So when you look at these sentences, they are quite ambiguous. They have different meanings, but the hyphen is used to provide clarity. So the first sentence, the suppliers have signed 8-month-long contracts, means that the suppliers have signed 8 contracts, and each contract is a month long. And the second one, the suppliers have signed 8-month-long contracts. It means that they have signed contracts that are 8 months long. So one contract that is running for 8 months, but the first sentence is 8 contracts, each running for 1 month. That's it for the apostrophe and the hyphen. I hope you have understood. And for further practice, you can have a look at the quiz, and I can do one, then you will do the rest. Use a hyphen where appropriate in the following sentences. Name the byproducts of petroleum. The appropriate place to put the hyphen is between by and products. Thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next session.